There he is.
Good morning, good morning,
What's
good morning,
up, Brandon?
good morning.
So, before we get into the huge news that came down yesterday
Which
from
one?
the UFC. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know. Let's talk a little bit about the fights last weekend, because, I mean, they were big.
They were big.
They were giant. I mean, right out of the bat, Ronda Rousey. We in fact, got into it in here last weekend about Ronda. And
you win.
I didn't want to say it.
You gave it a valiant effort, Brandon.
Yeah.
You gave it a valiant effort.
I'll be honest with you. I agreed what you were saying about Sarah McMahon, is that she brought everything that needed to be brought to beat a Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
A high-level Olympic wrestler who can stand and bang if she needed to be, and had that high level of experience competing in the Olympics.
For sure.
For somebody that could compete with Ronda. I agree with everything you said. But for some reason, Ronda brings that weird animal, like, nastiness to the octagon with her that I'm like, I don't know who's going to beat this girl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to really be special to beat Ronda Rousey.
You will have to be. I agree with you 100%. You know, I posted on Facebook, and I'm not a Ronda fan,
right?
But I do respect her
abilities,
skills a lot.
I feel like a lot of people think that way.
Yeah. I mean, poor sportsman, no question about it.
But I don't like her, but you can't not question her skills, her talent, her determination.
And we've talked to you before about body shots.
Yes.
And what they do. And how they just basically paralyze you if you get hit in the right spot. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened to Sarah McMahon. She got kneed in the liver.
A
couple of times.
Yeah.
But the one that dropped her.
Was a good one, yeah.
I mean,
dropped like a sack of rocks, a sack of bricks, a sack of potatoes.
And what do you do, like, when you're in that position where you drop like that, and you know mentally, I got to get up, but your body isn't responding?
You know, we talked about this a lot. A lot of different fighters talked about this. Like, it would be best to be knocked out asleep than to get hit with a body shot and still be awake to see the rest of the ass whooping that's coming. Like, because you know what's happening, and you train.
You can't do anything about it.
You cannot do anything about it. It's like somebody just injected you with a drug to paralyze your body.
It's like being awake in surgery.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it's like. You know what's happening. You're screaming on the inside, but guess what? Nobody can hear you. Nobody can help you.
That's awful. That's such a horrible thing.
It is. It's bad. You know, it's sad. It happens, and I think, honestly, all fighters agree that those are the worst things to happen. That's probably one of the worst things to happen to you in the octagon, cage, ring, wherever.
I think the genuine consensus was that wasn't what we wanted to see out of that fight. Like when it started, Sarah McMahon actually was hitting Ronda with some shots,
rocking her hard.
I mean,
Ronda
this whole
grabbed
thing,
her immediately.
dude. This whole thing of like Ronda Rousey's stand-up game is, you know, she's knocking out boxers and this and that. I didn't really see that.
No, I didn't.
What I saw is she can take a punch.
She can.
So congratulations on that.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's a different level of striking, and I don't know that Ronda's there yet.
No, I mean, she's hyping herself up, and she does work hard because she did hit that liver shot at least 3 or 4 times.
Because it's not just punches. I mean, striking, knees, kicking.
But what I did really like was watching Ronda try to step in and throw Miss McMahon at least twice. And Miss Rousey, her face changed. Like, I think she stepped in and tried to get that throw, and she was like, "Oh, what is this?" She clinched her, put her on the fence, tried to throw again, couldn't get it. It's like, welcome, welcome to the world of MMA.
Yeah. So really, when you're looking at the list of contenders who's left, I mean, it's gonna be tough. The one girl that's out there is Kat Zingano, who was supposed to be her opposing coach on The Ultimate Fighter, but blew out her knee.
Yeah.
So once she's healthy, maybe her, because she's technically the number 1 contender.
Yeah.
But I mean, coming back from a torn ACL, I mean, that's tough.
Takes a long time. You know, Ronda's gonna be attacking that leg. She's not nice about things, and she'll probably make it known, I'm gonna come after that leg and throw you. So it's, you know, that'll be playing into the mental part of the game too with Kat.
Right.
You know, after Miss McMahon, what she did to Sarah, I just don't think there's going to be anybody to challenge Ronda.
I'd actually like to see that fight again. I'll be honest with you, because I think Sarah McMahon could do damage and do much better.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again, but I know for sure they're going to have to make her climb back up. At least 1, maybe 2 more fights before she comes back.
No doubt.
I would like to see that again, but I just don't see it. I don't see anybody.
It's gonna be tough, man. Yeah. She's a dominant force in the UFC.
She's a dominant force, and the bad girl.
Yeah, the villain. Everybody loves it, man.
Keep hating on her, because she's doing it right, Dan.
Yeah, the number 1 fighder right now, most popular fighter.
Yep.
Most popular.
And the most hated.
And the most hated.
So hated.
Well, you know, I said it. I said it during and after the fights. You know, the card last week, it was like starting, like everybody started, foreplay started, sex is about to happen, and then somebody rang the doorbell.
Oh.
That's what it felt like. You know, everybody was with me. Everybody was following. Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, a little bit.
How it was.
That happens. It's a fight. Anything can happen, you know?
Anything can happen.
That's it.
Speaking of anything happening.
Wow, dude. So, the big ruling yesterday came down from the Nevada Athletic Commission, where they're kind of the governing body when it comes to combat sports in general. Like, kind of everybody follows their lead.
Yes.
And so, when the Nevada Athletic Commission came out and said, we are no longer allowing TRT use, which is the testosterone replacement therapy, which is very controversial. The last opponent that Brandon fought had TRT use approved, and he had apparently went over it. And so that's why that fight was bogus.
Yeah.
And so this is a very controversial thing in the fighters world, to the point of where, Brandon, you've even been like, hey, listen, if everybody else is doing it, I might as well do it too. Like, it's garbage. And so Nevada finally said, no more. Like, it's cheating. You're using performance-enhancing drugs, and so it's no longer allowed. Very controversial, where the UFC said, all right, since Nevada said it, we are now banning it. All over. Like, it doesn't matter what state you're in. We're not allowing it.
Too little, too late.
Really?
Too little, too late. People already know the system. They know how to get around it.
Really?
People spending.
So it doesn't even matter.
No, there's people spending 10 to 12 grand a month in gear just trying to get the edge and getting past the system. You know, they open the door. It's open. Pandora's box is open, and it's there's too much knowledge, too many doctors, and too much word of mouth of how to get around everything now. It's part of the game now. It's part of all sports now, and I think it's good for one, good for all. You open the box, it's too late to close it now.
So the fact that they banned it now, and if somebody goes, what are they going to do? Are they going to test your testosterone every fight, or how's that going to work?
What are you going to do? So if somebody gets caught, are the penalties still the same? Oh, a 6-month suspension and maybe a fine, or maybe not a fine, or maybe just a 3-month suspension.
Well, the guy that you fought, Ben Rothwell, the ruling wasn't even overturned.
Exactly.
Like, the fight still counts as a loss on your record, which doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So why not? Since you open a Pandora's box already,
you don't think it's a good start?
A start to what? Where they going to end at?
I don't know. Like, how do you
That's the biggest thing.
Like,
you've opened this already. Now what are we going to do about it? Now you have to start suspending people for 2 years if they get caught. You know, like, there's only one way to get rid of it, and nobody really wants to get rid of it. So let's just roll with it, baby.
Well,
let's just roll with it.
One guy who is not a fan is Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort.
He's not a fan of the ruling. Sorry, he's not a fan of the ruling.
Because he's been on TRT for a while now. In fact, I would say he's the most famous fighter out of all the fighters who's been on TRT.
Because he looks good. He looks like Adonis, man. Listen, I'm not on that side of the fence. I don't have a problem with that side of the fence. But he looks good, man. He looks good. How do your abs have veins, man? You know what I mean? Come on, man. I'm kind of jealous. Like,
Vitor has been destroying people since he's been on TRT, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
But they still
do it again, Eddie.
Wait, what? But they gave him a title fight. He's going to be fighting, or was going to be fighting, Chris Weidman for the middleweight championship coming up in May, and Nevada, since they said no more TRT, the UFC says no more TRT, guess who pulled out of his championship fight? Vitor Belfort.
Like, really? Brandon. Wow. Like, what the hell?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of, honestly, is, there's always a big girl at the strip club.
I love your analogies. They're spot on.
There's something for everybody.
Right?
Everybody fights for a different reason.
Yeah.
Maybe his reason's different than mine.
Okay.
And for you to be able to pull out of a championship fight, you're for sure different than me.
Yeah. He's the fat girl at the strip club.
Yeah.
So you're not into the fat girl at the strip club. Like he is.
It depends. Can she dance? So it depends. But
I got $1 for her.
It's a $5.
Yeah.
But it's everybody fights for their own reasons, and for you to pull out of a championship fight.
I mean, that's your dream, to get a shot at the title. I mean,
the money's
that's
different.
Why you fight.
The contract's different. You're in front of the world.
Notoriety. Everything. It's everything.
That's why we fight.
It's what Vitor has been begging for 2 years.
Since he first lost to Anderson back in the day.
So
is his ego getting in his...
It has nothing to do with ego. He says, I can't fight without TRT.
Wow.
I cannot be who I am without this. So why go in there and fight if I don't have TRT?
That's sad to admit. It's like saying without drugs, I'm not.
That's 100% what it is.
That's sad.
It's 100% what it is.
I know if I'm not doing meth, I can't fly.
Yeah.
Totally right.
Another great analogy.
You guys, but don't be sad because the fat girl just got replaced with one of the hottest chicks around.
Oh, no.
One of the hottest chicks, most in shape, fastest, best dancing on the floor. Lyoto Machida!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the floor, Lyoto Machida!
Dragon is back on stage.
So now they put in Lyoto Machida against Chris Weidman. Brandon, break that down.
Yeah, so man, this fight I was not expecting to see for a while.
Yeah, we were gonna have to wait.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Like when I read this, it's such a big deal. Like, and some people are reporting it wrong because somebody said Silva, and I was like, Silva who? Mandalay? Like Mandalay Silva? Anderson Silva?
Tiago? No, wait, he's in jail.
Oh man.
Oh, too soon.
Whoops. But it's just, it was weird, and it is Mr. Machida, the Dragon. He's fighting. His style is bad for anybody to fight against because it's hard to replicate. You know, and
people have a hard time taking him down. And when you're fighting Chris Weidman, that's his go-to.
He's going to take you down. He wants to take you down. And Machida's so explosive and so fast on the outside, it makes you want to shoot from bad angles. And that's when he hits everybody, is when they're rushing in. That's kind of his game. Yeah.
He knocks you out when you come in, when you rush him. So this is a really interesting fight.
It's a bad matchup for the champ. And let's say that again. The champ, Chris Weidman, Mr. Weidman, he is the champ. It's a bad matchup for him. If he can go through Machida, if he can take Machida down,
we got a different fight.
It's a different fight. Yeah. I don't think Machida's going to get back up. I think ground and pound is going to be bad, like really, really bad, and I think he'll just grind him. The one thing that Mr. Weidman's going to have to do is put Machida on the cage. A lot of people have tried and let him go, but I think once Mr. Weidman gets his hands on him, wrapped on him.
Well, look what happened when John Jones put Machida against the cage.
Exactly.
Choked him out.
Put him to sleep.
Yeah.
You have to. Machida, that's one key is put Machida on the cage. Put his back on the cage and keep him on the cage. If you let him run around and tag you,
get space.
Yeah, it's impossible to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Weidman's gonna run through Machida. Like, I don't think it's gonna.
I don't know.
Do you think?
I don't know. Machida's a tough matchup for anybody.
I mean, I understand
He's
that.
so hard to figure out.
Why? Tell us.
I totally get that, but I think that Weidman is smart, and I think that he really studies tape. I think that he really prepares for whoever it is he's fighting. I think that's
he's got great coaches.
I think that's why he was able to beat Silva, and I mean, I don't know. I interviewed Weidman, you guys. So
snap! Oh, let's get it, girl. Let's get it, girl.
We're like best friends.
She's getting excited.
For like 10 minutes. No, but I mean, I really like Weidman, and I haven't met Machida, but I mean, I don't know. Something about me thinks that Weidman is gonna play Machida's game and beat him at it probably easier than we realize. That's what I really think.
Wow.
Well, nobody thought Weidman would beat Silva.
No,
that's what I mean.
But you heard what she just said.
Yeah.
Weidman's gonna play Machida's game and beat him at it.
Yeah.
Listen, that's an awesome prediction. If that happens, we have to get her something.
Well,
because nobody has ever beat him at his game, so that's cool.
Well, Chris Weidman.
What do you want?
Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva at his game.
That's my point.
That's a good point.
He sure did.
I don't know.
If there's someone that can do it again, I think it might be Weidman.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mad respect for Machida, but Weidman's
we
coming
will
up
see.
right now.
She said Weidman's the man.
Yeah.
I love me some Weidman.
On one hand, I think it's even a more interesting fight than the Vitor Belfort fight.
Yes,
because
100%.
Vitor is a stand-up fighter like Anderson Silva, and you know kind of what he's going to do. You don't know what Machida's going to do.
No.
Like he's all over the place.
Machida doesn't know what he's going to do until he does it. Yeah.
So it's very interesting, man. So that was the big news that went down yesterday. No more TRT.
Wow.
No more TRT.
Vitor's out.
Vitor's out.
Toyota's in.
Toyota's in, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
That's as big as it gets.
That's it, yeah.
That's pretty big news. So
that's huge, man. And it was cool to see that UFC said that they are going to back Nevada Athletic Commission's standing, but I just think it's too little, too late. Man. Like people know how to play the game now.
Wow.
Except for Vitor, obviously.
Yeah, right.
My bad, except for Mr. But you know,
that guy's got like 4 penises.
He doesn't worry about it anymore.
It happens, you guys.
4 of them.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Well, I'm jealous now, actually.
That's too much testosterone, Brandon. We don't need that. All right, hey, thanks for coming in, Brandon, as always. All right, my friend. Let's take a quick time out. More of the show and Sports Dirt when we get back.